Welcome to Pillowside Night Stories. Tonight, I want to take you somewhere quiet, somewhere the world cannot reach you, somewhere that has been waiting, without knowing it was waiting, for exactly you. You are already on your way there. You are walking through an old town on a winter afternoon. The kind of town where the streets are narrow and the buildings lean slightly toward each other, as if they have been sharing secrets for centuries. Snow is falling. Not heavily, not yet. Just soft flakes drifting down from a pale gray sky. They land on your coat, on your shoulders, on your hair. Each one a tiny cold kiss that melts almost instantly. Your boots make a satisfying crunch on the thin layer of white that has begun to cover the cobblestones. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. A slow rhythm, an unhurried pace. You are not in a rush. You came out today with no particular plan, just a need to walk, to move, to let the cold air clear your head after too many days indoors, too many thoughts circling. The town is quiet this afternoon. Most people are inside, behind windows that glow with lamplight. You pass a cafe where steam clouds the glass, a bakery where the smell of bread drifts out, warm and yeasty. A small antique shop with a cat sleeping in the window display. But you keep walking. Something is pulling you forward. Not urgency, something gentler than that. Curiosity, perhaps. Or instinct. The kind of instinct that knows when something good is waiting around the next corner. And then you see it. On your left, tucked between a tailor's shop and an old stone archway, there is a building you almost missed. Its facade is dark brick, weathered by decades. The windows are tall and divided into small panes, the kind that belong to another century. Above the door, a wooden sign hangs from an iron bracket. The paint is faded but still readable. Thornwood Books. Est. 1892. Through the window, you can see shelves. Rows and rows of shelves, reaching up toward a ceiling you cannot quite make out from here. And between the shelves, the warm glow of lamps. You stop walking. The snow falls around you. A flake lands on your eyelash. You blink it away. There is something about this place. Something that feels like an invitation, like a door that has been left open just for you. You step forward. Your hand finds the brass door handle. It is cold, but solid, reassuring. You press down. The latch clicks, and you push the door open. A small bell chimes above your head. One clear note that seems to hang in the air for a moment before fading into the warmth. Because it is warm in here. The cold from outside slides off you like a coat being removed. In its place, a gentle heat wraps around you, the heat of old radiators. of a building that has been keeping people warm for over 100 years. You step inside. The door closes behind you with a soft thud, and the world outside becomes muffled, distant, as if it has agreed to wait. You stand in the entrance, letting your eyes adjust. The shop is larger than it appeared from outside. The ceiling is high, crossed with dark wooden beams. The floor is worn oak, creaking softly in the places where generations of feet have walked before yours. And the books, they are everywhere. Shelves line every wall, climbing up toward the ceiling on old wooden ladders. Tables are stacked with volumes of every size. A spinning rack near the door holds paperbacks with faded spines. In one corner, a glass cabinet protects what must be older, more fragile editions. The air smells of paper, of leather bindings, of wood polish and dust, and something else. Something that old bookshops have that cannot be named but is instantly recognized as comfort. A narrow path winds between the shelves, leading deeper into the shop. The lamplight creates pools of gold along the way, leaving soft shadows in between. From somewhere at the back, you hear movement, footsteps, then a voice. "Hello there. Come in, come in. Shake off the cold." An elderly man appears from behind a tall shelf. He moves slowly but steadily, a stack of books cradled in one arm. His sweater is wool, forest green, with patches on the elbows. His glasses sit slightly crooked on his nose. He sets the books down on a nearby table and looks at you with eyes that are kind and unhurried. "Terrible afternoon to be out," he says, "but there is no judgment in it, only understanding. Though I suppose that's exactly why one comes to a bookshop, to escape the weather, among other things." He gestures toward the interior of the shop. "Take your time, browse as long as you like. I'll be sorting in the back if you need anything." He gives you a small nod, the kind that expects nothing in return. And then he turns and disappears between the shelves, his footsteps fading into the quiet. You are alone now. Alone with the books, with the lamplight, with the soft tick of a clock you can hear but cannot see. Outside, through the tall windows, you notice the snow falling faster now. The flakes are thicker, more determined. But that is out there. You are in here, and there is nowhere else you need to be. You begin to walk. Slowly. There is no destination in mind. Only the gentle pull of curiosity leading you deeper into the shop. The shelves rise on either side of you like friendly walls. Each one is filled to capacity, books pressed spine to spine, some leaning slightly against their neighbors as if tired from standing so long. You read the names as you pass. Poetry, philosophy, natural history, travel. Words painted on small wooden plaques, their letters slightly faded. Categories from a time when bookshops were organized by someone who loved what they were organizing. You turn a corner. Here, the light is softer. A single lamp with a green glass shade sits on a small table, casting a warm circle of illumination. Beside it, a worn leather armchair that looks like it has been waiting for someone to sit down. But not yet. Not quite yet. You keep walking. Your fingers trail along the spines as you go. Some are smooth, modern. Others are rough with age, their titles embossed in gold that has worn away to whispers. You stop at a shelf labeled letters and memoirs. Something here catches your eye. A slim volume bound in deep blue cloth, no title on the spine, just a small embossed star, barely visible. You reach up. Your fingers close around the book. You pull it gently from its place. It comes free with a soft sound, like a sigh. The book is lighter than you expected. You open it carefully. The pages are cream-colored, the edges uneven, cut by hand rather than machine. Inside, handwritten text. Not printed, someone's actual handwriting pressed into the paper a long time ago. You cannot read the words in this light, but you can feel them, the weight of someone's thoughts, preserved. You do not need to read it, not really. It is enough just to hold it, to feel its weight. To know that someone's quiet thoughts are resting there, kept safe. You close the book, hold it for a moment, then slide it back into its place on the shelf. You walk on. The shop unfolds around you in rooms you did not expect. A small alcove filled entirely with maps, rolled and flat, stacked in wooden cubbies. A narrow passage lined with cookbooks, their spines stained with what might be ancient splashes of sauce or butter. And then, in a back corner, you find the fiction section. The novels are organized not by author, but by something else. By feeling, perhaps. The small plaques here say things like, for rainy afternoons, for sleepless nights, for when you need to believe in something. You smile. This is a shop that understands its readers. You choose a section at random. For quiet evenings, the plaque says. Your eyes move along the spines. Some titles you recognize, others are unfamiliar. You let your hand hover, waiting to see which book calls to you. There. A hardcover with a dark green spine, gold lettering, slightly worn, The House at the Edge of Winter. You have never heard of it. You have no idea what it contains. But your hand reaches for it anyway. You pull it from the shelf. The cover is cloth, soft with age. On the front, a simple illustration, a small house with lit windows surrounded by snow. You open to the first page. The paper smells like time, like libraries. like the home of someone who kept books in every room. You read the first line. The snow began falling on a Thursday, and by Sunday, Eleanor had forgotten what the world looked like without it. Something in your chest softens. This is the one. You tuck the book under your arm and continue walking. The shop grows quieter the deeper you go. The sounds of the street have faded completely now. Even the snow against the windows is barely audible. There is only the creak of floorboards beneath your feet. The occasional settling of old wood, the distant tick of that unseen clock. And then you notice something. The light from the windows has changed. It is darker outside now. Much darker than it should be for this hour. You walk to the nearest window and look out. The snow is no longer drifting. It is falling fast and thick, driven sideways by a wind that has risen from nowhere. The street outside has disappeared under white. The buildings across the way are barely visible, just shadows behind a curtain of swirling flakes. A winter storm. A real one. And it has arrived while you were lost among the shelves. For a moment, you simply stand at the window and watch. The wind gusts against the glass. You can hear it now, a low moan that rises and falls. The panes rattle slightly in their frames, a gentle shiver that runs through the old building. The snow is relentless. It falls and falls, erasing everything. The street lamps have become soft blurs of gold. The cobblestones have vanished completely. There is no walking home in this. Not tonight. But you are already inside, already warm. The shop hums quietly around you, unhurried, as if it has sheltered people through 100 storms before this one. And before any thought can settle, you hear footsteps behind you. The elderly man has returned. He stands a few feet away, looking out the window with an expression that is not concerned. If anything, he seems almost pleased. "Ah," he says quietly. "There it is. They said it would come, but I didn't expect it so soon." He turns to look at you. His eyes are calm behind his crooked glasses. "I'm afraid you've been snowed in with us," he says. "The roads will be impassable for hours, perhaps until morning." He pauses, letting this settle. But a small smile crosses his face. There are worse places to be stranded than a bookshop. He gestures for you to follow him. "Come, let me show you something." You walk with him through the shop, past the fiction section, past the maps and the cookbooks, through a narrow doorway you had not noticed before, hung with a heavy curtain in deep red velvet. On the other side is a staircase. Wooden steps, worn smooth in the center from years of climbing. A brass handrail that gleams softly in the low light. "Up here," he says, already beginning to climb. This is where we keep our best secret. You follow. The stairs creak beneath you. The sound is friendly, welcoming, like the building is acknowledging your presence. At the top, a landing, a single door slightly ajar. The man pushes it open. "The reading room," he says softly. "For storms, for late nights, for anyone who needs somewhere to simply be." You step inside, and your breath catches. The room is small, intimate. The ceiling slopes gently on one side, following the roofline of the old building. The walls are lined with more books, of course, but these are different, older, chosen with care. Leather-bound classics with gold-embossed spines, well-loved novels with softened covers, gentle poetry in slim volumes. Old stories that have been read and reread until the pages know exactly where to fall open. In one corner, a fireplace, a real one, with logs already stacked and ready. The man walks to it, strikes a match, and touches it to the kindling. The flame catches, begins to grow. Within moments, the fire is crackling softly, sending warmth out into the room. Opposite the fireplace, a large window looks out onto the storm. The glass is old, slightly wavy, so the snow outside appears to dance and swirl. In front of the window sits a reading chair. Not just any chair. A deep, generous armchair, upholstered in worn leather the color of old honey. Beside it, a small table with a lamp, and folded on the seat, a wool blanket in soft gray. The man turns to you. "There's a kettle and some tea things on the shelf there," he says, nodding toward a small wooden cabinet near the door. "The fire should keep you warm through the night, and the books." He gestures to the shelves around you. "The books will keep you company." He moves toward the door. "I'll be downstairs, closing up. You're welcome to stay as long as you need. The storm will pass, they always do." He pauses at the threshold. "Rest well," he says. "You've found a good place to wait out the cold." And then he is gone. His footsteps fade down the stairs. You hear the soft sound of the curtain falling back into place. And you are alone. Alone in this small, perfect room, with the fire, with the books, with the storm raging outside and absolute stillness within. You stand for a moment, simply breathing. The room smells of wood smoke and old paper, of wool and candle wax, of something that can only be described as comfort. Through the window, the wind howls, but the thick walls hold. The fire crackles on. The hush of the shelves stands guard around you. You move slowly. There is no reason to rush. The storm has given you something rare, time with no demands on it. Time that belongs to no one but you. You walk to the chair. Run your hand along the armrest. The leather is soft, worn smooth by years of use. How many others have sat here before you, you wonder? How many storms have been waited out in this exact spot? But that is their story. Tonight, this chair is yours. You set your book on the small table, the one you chose downstairs. The house at the edge of winter, it waits there, patient. First, the tea. You turn to the wooden cabinet the man mentioned, open its small doors. Inside, you find a copper kettle, already filled with water, a small spirit burner to heat it, a tin of loose tea, the label handwritten, evening blend, chamomile and honey. You light the burner. The flame is small and blue, steady. You set the kettle above it and wait. The fire crackles behind you. You can feel its warmth on your back, on your shoulders, on the parts of you that have been cold for longer than just today. You look around the room while the water heats. On one shelf, a small framed photograph, black and white. A younger man, perhaps the owner's father, standing outside this very building. The sign above him reads the same, Thornwood Books, but the photograph is old, faded at the edges. Generations, you think. This place has held people through generations of winters. The kettle begins to whisper. You turn back to it. Watch the first wisps of steam begin to rise. The whisper becomes a soft murmur. Not a boil, nothing so urgent, just heat gathering, ready to give. You find a cup on the shelf. White, ceramic, simple and sturdy. You spoon the loose tea into a small mesh strainer, set it in the cup. You lift the kettle. Pour slowly. The water falls in a thin stream, clear becoming gold as it meets the chamomile. Steam rises, carrying the scent upward, honey and flowers. Something that makes your whole body remember what it feels like to be taken care of. You set the kettle down. Let the tea steep. And now, the chair. You lift the gray blanket from the seat, unfold it, set it aside for a moment. Then you lower yourself into the chair. Slowly. The leather sighs beneath you. A soft exhale, as if it has been waiting. The cushion gives way, shaping itself to your body. Your back finds support. Your weight settles. You sink deeper. The chair holds you. You reach for the blanket, draw it across your lap, then higher over your stomach, over your chest. The wool is heavier than it looks. Warm already, though it has not yet borrowed your heat. You pull it up to your shoulders, and something in you releases. Some tension you did not know you were carrying. Some vigilance that has been running in the background for days, weeks, maybe longer. It loosens, softens, begins to fade. The old walls hold steady around you. The fire keeps its watch. The clock ticks on, unhurried. The storm stays outside where it belongs. The cold stays outside. The demands and worries and lists of things undone, they stay outside too. Not tonight. Tonight, there is only this room, this fire, this blanket, this moment. You reach for your tea. The cup is warm in your hands. You bring it close. Let the steam rise toward your face. Breathe it in. Then you sip slowly. The tea is perfect, not too hot, not too sweet. The chamomile spreads across your tongue, soft and calm. The honey follows, gentle and grounding. You swallow, and the warmth slides down, settles in your chest, radiates outward. Another sip. The warmth reaches your fingertips, your toes, the soft space behind your eyes. You set the cup down, and you reach for your book. The House at the Edge of Winter. You open it to the first page. The paper is soft under your fingers. The type is clear and well spaced. You begin to read. Not quickly. Not to finish. Just to let the words wash over you. To let someone else's story carry you for a while. The snow began falling on a Thursday, and by Sunday, Eleanor had forgotten what the world looked like without it. The fire crackles. The wind presses against the window. You read another line, and another. Your eyes move slowly across the page. The words blur slightly at the edges, but you do not mind. The meaning is not in the understanding. It is in the feeling of being somewhere far away, somewhere where time moves differently. You turn a page. The paper whispers as it moves. Outside, the storm howls. But in here, there is only the crackle of the fire, the tick of a clock you still cannot see. The soft sound of your own breathing, slow and even. Your eyelids grow heavy, just slightly, just enough to notice. You read another sentence, then another. But the words are beginning to drift, to soften. to become something closer to music than meaning. The book rests open on your chest. You do not close it. You do not need to. It can stay there, a gentle weight, a companion. Your eyes close, just for a moment, just to rest. The darkness behind your eyes is soft, not empty, just soft, like the blanket wrapped around you, like the warmth rising from the fire, like the scent of chamomile still drifting in the air. You are aware of sounds. The fire crackling low now. A gentle pop and hiss as the logs settle. The flames have become embers, orange and gold, glowing in the dark. The wind outside, still pressing against the window, but it sounds different now, farther away. Less like something trying to get in, and more like something singing, a low, endless song. A lullaby that has been sung for centuries. The snow against the glass, tap, tap, tap. So soft you can barely hear it, just a whisper. Just a reminder that the world is still out there, doing what the world does while you rest. You do not need to watch it anymore. You do not need to do anything anymore. The book has slipped slightly on your chest. You can feel its weight still. The pages open, the story paused mid-sentence. It will be there when you wake. The words will wait. Everything waits tonight. The tea in your cup, half finished, cooling slowly on the table. The fire burning down to its quietest glow. The clock, wherever it is, ticking its patient rhythm. The books on the shelves, standing silent and still. They are all waiting with you, for you, keeping you company in the way that quiet things do. Your breathing has become slow. You notice it without trying to change it. In through your nose, gentle and long. Out through your lips, softer still. Your chest rises, falls, rises, falls. The rhythm of rest. The rhythm your body has known since before you could remember. Your shoulders have melted into the chair. Your jaw is loose. Your hands, wherever they are, have stopped holding on. There is nothing to hold on to tonight. You can let go. The storm will do what storms do. It will rage and blow and cover the world in white. And then, eventually, it will end, by morning, perhaps. Or the morning after that. It does not matter. Time has stopped meaning anything here. There is only this room, this fire, this chair that holds you, this blanket that covers you, this night that asks for nothing. You feel yourself drifting, not falling, drifting, like a leaf on still water, like a cloud moving slowly across a winter sky. There is no direction, no destination. Just movement so gentle it barely feels like movement at all. Thoughts come and go, fragments of the day, pieces of tomorrow, faces and places and half-formed ideas, but they do not stick. They do not demand attention. They simply pass through, like visitors who know better than to stay too long. You let them go, one by one, like snowflakes melting on warm ground. The fire gives a final soft pop. The ember glow dims slightly, then steadies. The room grows quieter still, and you realize, somewhere in the soft distance of your mind, that this is what you have been looking for. Not just tonight. For a long time, this feeling, this stillness, this permission to simply stop. You have been carrying so much, not always visibly, not always consciously, but carrying the way we all carry. The responsibilities, the worries, the never-ending list of things that need doing, need deciding, need attention. But not tonight. Tonight, the storm has closed every road. Tonight, there is nowhere you can go and nothing you can do. And so, for once, you are free. Free to rest without guilt. Free to sleep without setting an alarm for tomorrow. The bookshop will keep watch. The old man downstairs, wherever he is, has done this before, has weathered storms in this building for decades. He knows what the walls can hold. He knows what the fire can keep warm. He knows that some nights, the best thing you can do for someone is give them a quiet room and leave them alone. You are not alone. Not really. You are held by this place, by its history, by every person who has ever sat in this chair and watched snow fall and felt, for a few hours, that the world outside could wait. You are part of that now. Part of the story of this room. And the room will remember you. The wind sings on. The snow falls. The fire glows. And you sink deeper. Into the chair. Into the warmth, into the quiet, into sleep. There is no edge to cross, no line to step over, just a gradual softening. A letting go that happens so gently you barely notice it happening. One breath, then another. Your body is warm. Your mind is still. Your heart beats slow and steady, the way it has always known how to beat when you finally let it rest. The storm will pass. The roads will clear. Morning will come, eventually, with pale light filtering through the frosted window. But that is hours away. A whole night of rest between now and then. For now, there is only this: the weight of the blanket, the warmth of the dying fire, the book open on your chest, the snow falling soft and endless outside, and you, safe, warm, resting at last. Sleep now, my friend. The bookshop keeps watch. The storm sings its lullaby. And you are exactly where you need to be. Good night.